Sagittarius July brings the people, the perspective, and the purpose that your soul has been craving. We're going to look at the general transits in the sky, and then I'm going to open up the chart for you, and I'm going to show you as the month progresses kind of the story that is unfolding. Let's go, Sagittarius. Mercury starts off in your 9th house, and it's very likely you're going to be focused in on your own personal life philosophies. You're going to be focused in on your own beliefs. You're going to be focused in on your dharma and why you really came here. You might be asking yourself, like, what is my soul mission? What is my soul purpose on this planet? And with Mercury in your 9th house, it's also a very powerful time to share knowledge and information very far and wide. It's a good time to publish your book. It's a good time to post your social media content, perhaps go viral. And it's a good time to connect with a lot of different types of people, different cultures, different religions. And it's also a time where you might be interested in gaining higher wisdom or knowledge. So you might be enrolling in a new course, you might be enrolling in university, or you might be deepening your spiritual connection that you have with yourself through meditation, automatic writing, channeling, and talking with your higher self. And then on the 18th of the month, Mercury goes retrograde, and we all know that Mercury retrograde means miscommunications, delays, and usually some glitches in technology. But here at Lindsay with Love, Sagittarius, we are not victims of astrology. We are aware of the energy potentials in the sky, and then we move accordingly. It might be a time where you're confused about your own beliefs, you're trying to figure it out. You might be maybe not as open-minded as perhaps you usually are as it relates to like new ideas, new religious ideas, laws, cultures, philosophy. If you are traveling, specifically long distances, make sure that you give yourself plenty of time because Mercury retrograde typically brings delays, and this 9th house involves you reaching or traveling to foreign, distant shores. And if you are somebody who's planning to like launch something, a course or a book, I would say don't do it during this retrograde. Get it done before that, and if it has to wait, then I would say wait it out. Don't launch anything big or exciting or publish that book and expect it to really go during the retrograde. Just be mindful about it. It's also not a good time to like sign contracts or anything. So if you are getting set up to study or go to university or enroll in some sort of higher education, read the fine print. Don't sign on the dotted line until you have to. And if you can, once again, do it before the 18th. So what about love and money? Well, Venus is starting off in your 6th house at the beginning of this month, but then on the 4th, Venus enters into your 7th house. And so it's very likely this entire month, you are going to have some very beautiful relationships, either deepening the connections with the people you already have in your life, Sagittarius, or you're going to be putting yourself out there and attracting the right people in and kind of blossoming some relationships as well. Remember, the 7th house is all about like your intimate relationships. It's your best friends, it's your partner, your soulmate, your husband, your wife, your business partner. So it's those close kind of intimate relationships. So once again, really nice time. Things should be flowing smoothly for you and really just beautifully connecting with the people that you have in your life. And if you're looking for a soulmate, a partner, a best friend, a business partner, it's a great time to put yourself out there because energetically you're exuding love and you're exuding confidence, and so you'll attract that back to you. Sagittarius, if you're new here, I'm Lindsay, and I'm here to transform as many lives as I can as quickly as I possibly can, and that typically involves teaching people energy work, how to understand their energy, how to release their limiting beliefs, reprogram their subconscious mind to success so they can actually manifest it all. So hit the subscribe button, Sagittarius, if you're into that. What are you going to be up to this month, Sagittarius? Well, Mars is hanging out in your 10th house. So physically, you are very focused this month on your job, whether it's your career or maybe a business you're building. And you're also like taking a lot of steps to maybe build out your personal legacy, your personal empire, so to speak, or your social reputation in the world. Now, this could look like, once again, you're really diving into your work and you're showing and proving to your boss that you're the one who's meant to be promoted. If you are working for yourself, it's a time where you're really physically in your business and you're like, starting the projects, making sure everything's going right. You're delegating, you're maybe writing the emails, figuring out the next course, like whatever it is you do. And if you're not doing any of that, maybe you're retired, then maybe you're focused in on like taking physical action to really manage perhaps your legacy. Like, what does that look like for generations to come? What is the impact that you're leaving in this world? Maybe you're even like, I don't know, posting on social media, posting on TikTok, something like that, and having fun doing it. One word of caution here is that Mars can be a little bit bossy at times, so just be mindful how your words are coming out or how you're showing up in your career or your business. If that's you, now it's very much leadership energy, which is good, but it can borderline like assertive to aggressive kind of quickly. So just be careful. Sagittarius, I discussed Jupiter entering Cancer last month, so we won't dive into it again this month because it's repetitive information. But if you missed it and you want to learn more, you can check out the description box below. There is a Jupiter in Cancer for all signs video linked there. Now, July is quite an interesting month because there are a lot of outer planets moving and grooving in the sky. So from a collective perspective, we're all going to feel it, but it's also going to impact you individually, Sagittarius. So kicking this off, you've got Neptune retrograde on the 5th in your 5th house. And then on the 13th of the month, Saturn retrogrades and meets up with Neptune here. And so it's very much the energy of like taking your rose-colored glasses off, and maybe you're starting to look at your life and you're like, everything seems a little harsher first and foremost, but then also it's like maybe you're realizing that you're not totally fulfilled in life. It's like, oh, this is what my life has become, or this is what I've created. So you're very focused, or it's a good time to focus on what you're thinking about your life versus what is the reality of it. And if there's a disconnect, to start to bridge the gap, and do that by feeding yourself new thoughts and new ideas. This is also a time with Saturn here that Saturn really wants you to get serious about it. Saturn's saying like, look, now that you know what this looks like really take a step back and figure it out. Build the structures that are going to allow you to have fun in life, that are going to allow you to feel so full of life and have a lot of zest for life, because this 5th house is like all encompassing. It is your life's pleasures, like what really brings you joy, what really lights you up. Now it also involves kind of like, if we were to categorize it out, it involves your romance. So if you are maybe dating the wrong person, it's probably the time that you're going to know that. It involves children. Maybe you've been on the fence, like, do I have them, do I not? Like maybe it's something like that where you're starting to structure out what that looks like for you down the line. It's also your creativity and your self-expression. So maybe you've been playing it safe, and maybe you haven't been super creative, or maybe you haven't been fully expressing yourself. And you realize, Sagittarius, that creativity and self-expression are rewarded in this reality that we live in. And so you're deciding like how to go about maybe, unleashing your creativity. And lastly, it is also the house of entrepreneurship. So maybe you are like, yeah, business is great, da da da. But like in reality, it's like you're not really doing what you want to do, or you're not really putting yourself out there in your business like fully, and like really allowing yourself to let the abundance come in. It could also be like from a Saturn perspective, like the structures aren't there. So from a romantic perspective with Saturn, it's like you are energetically not ready to be in a romantic relationship. And so it's like really getting right with your energy and figuring that out. From a child perspective, same thing. From a creativity, Saturn is like, please just like go for it. And from an entrepreneurial perspective, it's like maybe you don't have the right systems in place in your business, which is very tangible, I know, but Saturn is all about structures. And so Saturn is asking you to like take a step back and review your structures. Review the structure of the happiness of your life, basically, Sagittarius, without the rose-colored glasses on. Just like really look at it and say like, okay, this could be tweaked, this could be tweaked, this I don't even like anymore, like why am I still doing it? Like take it out. It's that type of vibe. Gets even better, even more interesting, because on the 6th of the month, Uranus enters into Gemini, into your 7th house, for the first time in 84 years. Uranus has not been in Gemini since 1941. So from a collective perspective, we are all going to feel this energetic shift. So let's break it down. Uranus, the planet of innovation, invention, individuality, humanitarian efforts, eccentricity, uniqueness, AIs, technology, ETs, the energy and planet of releasing and dismantling what no longer serves us so that we can step into and rebuild a structure that does work for us. So it's kind of like the dismantling of systems and structures and then rebuilding them for the good of all, so they're better suited for everybody, not just a select few. So in this space in the energy of Gemini, it's all about like rebuilding education systems, making it so it's for the good of everybody involved, not just like the people that can maybe afford it from a student loan that's going to last forever. I don't know. It's the energy of the way we communicate, like innovating the way we communicate. I totally believe the collective is going to shift, and people are going to start to actually realize, like truly believe, that we create our reality through our thoughts. And so more and more people are going to start to want to learn about how to reprogram the subconscious. They're going to be more interested in telepathy, remote viewing, astral travel, ETs, other worldly ideas. I totally believe we're going to see quick advances in AI and other technologies, simply because it's like Gemini is our intellect, it's our mind, it's the way we study, it's research, it's all of that like really intelligent stuff. And Uranus is like, okay, we're going to innovate, we're going to invent. So super powerful. And for you specifically, Sagittarius, this energy is happening in your 7th house of relationships. So geez, this is going to be so interesting for you over the next 7 years, 8 years. I could see you just totally like reinventing yourself. And because you're reinventing yourself, you're reinventing your relationships. You could be deciding that you're going to show up totally yourself, totally authentic, no like tweaking your energy or your vibe for anybody. And because you do that, you're attracting all of the right people. And it's like all the right people in the most like eclectic, eccentric way. But simply because you have chosen that you are going to show up very authentic. You'll have to let me know how this plays out. It's a long transit. So there's going to be shifts in your relationships over the next 7 to 8 years. But if you remember that we release things so that better can come to us, I think it'll make the shifts a little bit easier, specifically if you are going to be letting some people or a person go. On the 10th of the month, Sagittarius, there is a full moon happening in your 2nd house. And remember, full moons bring endings, completions, culminations, or something to fruition. It's a time where you might be made aware of something that you might have missed before, because if you think about a full moon, it's like a flashlight shining down on something that's like hidden in the shadows, so to speak. So this full moon is happening in your 2nd house of money, in your 2nd house of your self-worth, your gifts and your talents, and your bank account and material resources. So could something shift there? Yes. Maybe you close the door on a crappy job and you get a better one, which means more money is coming into your bank account. Maybe you realize and you decide to believe for the first time ever, Sagittarius, that you are worthy and deserving of everything you want in this lifetime. And because you believe that, you enhance your skill set, you start to share your creativity, you start to tell people about your skills, your gifts, and your talents, and people start to hire you, you start to build out a business, some income streams, whatever it is, and your bank account grows. But I would expect some shifts as it relates to your self-worth, your gifts and your talents, or your money. It could even be that you're uncovering a gift or a talent that you didn't even know you had at this time. And finally, Sagittarius, on the 24th, there is a new moon happening in your 9th house, and new moons are the perfect time to manifest something new in this 9th house of your life philosophy, of your spirituality, your soul's purpose, your dharma, reaching far distant shores and really like expanding and sharing out your knowledge and your wisdom. But remember, Mercury is retrograde also at this time. So think through your manifestation before you send it out, right? God, source, universe, creator wants us to be very clear and concise and direct about what it is we desire. But with Mercury retrograde here, you're like, maybe I don't know the answer to that. And so you're kind of like, you know, penciling it out, jotting it down, and then you figure out what to send out so that it's as clear as possible. All right, Sagittarius, let's get into it. Your chart is open. I've got you here. I've got my computer here. I've got my notes here. So I'll do my best, Sagittarius, to make eye contact with you and keep focused on the camera, but I will have to kind of bounce in between different screens. Okay, so starting off right away, Sagittarius, I'm going to bring your attention down to the right corner of the screen, the bottom corner. I just circled the calendar, and so when I move the chart along, you can look down there to kind of see where we're at from a date perspective if you forget, or if you want to just kind of follow along. Now, last month I did week by week. This month, the planets aren't playing as nicely in the sky and things are quite extended. So I'm going to do my best to kind of take you through the month in chronological order as best I can. Okay, let's dive right in. You've got Jupiter in Cancer in your 8th house. And this is happening the entire month long, sextiling Mars in Virgo up here in your 10th house. Ooh, this is big, bold action. This is the energy of big, bold action. But with a sextile, it's harmonious. The door is open, but you've got to step through. So you've got to take the big, bold action, right? Now, this action that you're taking, Sagittarius, has to do with your career, your business, your personal legacy that you're building, kind of personal empire type energy, or your social reputation out in the world. And in other words, like people knowing you, your social media accounts, stuff like that. Now, you're going to take a lot of action, and it is going to expand you and your partner's bank account, you and your investments. The 8th house has to do with money with Jupiter here. That's super great for you for like the entire year, all the way through 2026. And this 8th house is a money house. but it's a little bit different than your second house. The second house is money that you earn from your own gifts and talents. Like you go, give your services, you get money for them, you go help your boss bring value to the company, your boss pays you. The eighth house is money that you earn in ways outside of your gifts and talents. So maybe you're really good at investing, you picked the right stocks, your partner gets a raise or a promotion, and because of it, your bank account grows. It's that type of energy. So once again, playing in the background all month, you are taking action in your business. It's expanding your life. You are putting yourself out there. You are feeling more empowered than ever before. Money is flowing in. You are moving and grooving in your career, your leadership type vibes, and you can, build out you and your partner's bank accounts because of it. So go on, Sagittarius. I love that for you. Collect the bag. And make sure to use this energy. Remember, Sagittarius, you have got to be an active participant in creating your reality. There's always somebody on my TikTok, over 44,000 followers. Oh my gosh. There's always somebody over there that wants to say, like, this didn't happen for me. And I'm like, well, what did you do? Did you take action with the energy or did you just sit on your sofa? You've got to take action. Okay, so starting off the 1st of July, Sagittarius, you've got Venus in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus in your 6th house. Now, this happens until the 4th of July. I'm going to take you through the chart really quickly. So keep your eye on Venus and Uranus I just circled. You'll see 2nd July, 3rd of July, 4th of July. They're still conjunct. They're still merging and amplifying together. And then on the 5th of July, Venus enters into Gemini. Uranus is still in Taurus. But then on the 6th of July, Uranus enters into Gemini as well. And this goes on until the 10th of July that they stay in this conjunction. So let's start at the beginning of the month when they're in conjunction in Taurus. What does this mean? Well, Venus is the energy of love and money. Uranus is the energy of expansion, freedom, independence, individuality. It's the energy of dismantling systems, kind of breaking free from systems that are no longer serving you so that you can transcend and build your life and evolve and grow, not just for you, but for the greater good. So you're funneling like loving energy into ways to be better, ways to be more authentic. It could also be a time where you're realizing certain money, like the way you're managing your money or something isn't working for you. And so you are, kind of readjusting how you manage your money, perhaps. With this energy in your 6th house, you are very much like, I want to be free. You can't tie me down. And it has to do with your work routines. It has to do with like a day in the life of, and it has to do with your health routines. So you're feeling super individualistic. You're feeling super expansive. Don't drag me down. Why is work calling me? My pesky boss is emailing me, like, leave me alone. I'm living my life. That type of energy for the first couple of days of the month. Could be that you start a new routine that really lights you up inside. You break down your old routine. You look at your day-to-day life and you're like, okay, this is working for me. This isn't. And you really start to focus on what's working and bring more of that into your life. And then on the 5th, 6th of the month, now this energy is in your 7th house. So from the 6th onward, you've got this energy in your 7th house of your personal relationships. I just got done saying you want to feel really free. So it wouldn't surprise me if you're like, if your partner is really like tied to you, that you're like, oh my gosh, like just give me some room to breathe. It could be that, you're kind of doing your own thing at this time. Now, it's only for a couple of days. It's not traumatic. It's not bad. It's not negative. I'm never going to feed you any doom and gloom, but just know that you want to kind of do your own thing and be your own person. And it could also be a time where if you've been showing up in a relationship and kind of losing yourself in relationships, you might start to, create some new boundaries and kind of start to show up more as an individual and kind of truly do your own thing while also still coming together and merging together in relationship, whether it's you and your business partner, you and your soulmate, you and your bestie, literally whoever. Now, let's keep that in mind. And we have to look at this energy trining Pluto down here in your 3rd house of communication. So you are showing up as yourself in a relationship. And this is a harmonious aspect, by the way. And like maybe because you're finally realizing it, right? Pluto, the energy of transformation in the house of your mind and your intellect. You're like, oh, I didn't even realize I didn't have any boundaries and now I'm going to create some. Oh, I didn't really realize like I was giving all my all and like was kind of only getting half in return. So I'm going to rebalance and recalibrate relationships. oh, I'm going to start thinking that I deserve love because I do, and I'm going to put myself out there in a way that's very loving to myself so that I attract the right relationships in and the wrong relationships peace out, right? So once again, it's harmonious. There is some sort of change, transformation, evolution taking place for you in your third house of your mind, your intellect, something you're studying as it relates to your relationships. And it's not like that serious. It's only going to last through the 10th of the month. So just something to be aware of. No big deal. Okay, so moving on. Also on the 10th of the month. So let me get to the 10th. My favorite aspect in all of astrology is showing up in the sky this month. We've got Mercury up here in your ninth house, sextiling Venus in your seventh house. Now, why is this my favorite aspect? Well, because it's the manifesting formula in astrology form. That is what I believe. I've never heard anybody say this. I just put it all together and I was like, holy shit, this is astrology manifesting. So, the manifesting formula is your thoughts and your speech, Mercury, need to be in alignment with your emotions, Venus, which need to be in alignment with your actions. And a sextile is a harmonious aspect. The planets are working together. The door is open, but you have got to take action and walk through. So I think it's the perfect manifesting formula. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments below. And here, it's very likely if you're single that you are connecting, talking to people from different cultures, people that you are going to university with, people that you study with, people that are on a spiritual journey, people that are living in different countries, have different religions, backgrounds, whatever, and you are connecting and you might just get a new relationship, a business partner, the book publisher, author, whoever. The ninth house is sending information far and wide. So you think like international business, e-commerce, book publishing, and maybe you attract the publisher you need to, from a relationship perspective, to blast out the information that you know. This is somebody maybe inviting you that you have all of a sudden kind of fallen for. Maybe you have like some sort of internet love. Now be safe about it, be smart about it. But maybe you're kind of jiving with somebody that you're meeting online or that you met while you were traveling abroad somewhere, and they're like, hey, you're hearing from them. They're like, you want to come visit me, something like that. I mean, there's many ways this could take place. It could be that you have, figured out the relationships you need to figure out and ones that are aligned with you and support you as an individual and your growth and evolution. And because you finally put those boundaries and the self-respect with Uranus here as well, now you have this understanding of where you've been limiting yourself. The ninth house is life philosophies. You realize that maybe you were playing small, watering yourself down. And now that you decide to step into your own, you have opened yourself up energetically for abundance and expansion. And not only that, but understanding why you are on this earth, because the ninth house is all about your dharma, your soul's purpose. And Mercury is communication around that. And it's like maybe an aha moment, or maybe you're in a relationship with somebody who's like, maybe you would be really good at this. And you're like, oh my gosh, I've always thought about that. I've always thought of myself that way. Like, thank you for telling me. And now you're on this entirely new kind of life path, maybe on this whole spiritual journey of sorts that you weren't even expecting to be on. So this is super freaking exciting. Positive manifesting energy in the sky. We can't be mad at that, Sagittarius, but remember, you've got to use it to your advantage. And I'm going to show you by moving the chart. Pay attention to Mercury and Venus, the planets that are circled, and you can watch them dance together in the sky. 11, 12, 13th of July, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, Mercury goes retrograde and kind of stops there. And this is where the conjunction kind of splits. So how exciting. How freaking exciting, right? So almost over a week of manifesting power, just waiting for you to tap in around relationships, your dharma, sharing your knowledge far and wide, connecting with the right business partner, publisher, whoever, getting on your soul mission, soul path. How exciting. Okay, also on the 10th through the end of the month now, so 10th through the end of the month, we've got Venus in your seventh house again, squaring up now with Mars in the 10th. Now, if you listen to other astrologers, which you should, because I'm not the only one, and I'm not the only one that interprets the way I do, right? Other people have other opinions, and it's up to interpretation. But if you listen to other astrologers, don't let them doom and gloom you into like squares and oppositions being like the worst thing in the world that could happen to you. Traditionally, they're not the easiest aspects to manage, but I'm going to always reframe for you because I know that my thoughts create my reality. And so if I give you out of my voice something negative and put it into your mind, that's kind of shitty on me, right? So I'm not going to do that for you here. I will never do that for you. That's not what Lindsay with love is all about. It's Lindsay with love, lots of love. Okay. So this is going to feel perhaps like you're in a bit of a rut. Okay. Stuck in a little bit of a rut and you're annoyed. You're going to feel a little annoyed. You're going to feel a little bit of tension in the body, like, oh, that type of energy. But that annoyance is going to be a catalyst for you to get out of this rut. Now, where is this rut? It has to do with your career, your business, your social reputation out in the world, and your relationships. I don't know, you want to go build up your career, your partner wants you to stay at home. You are trying to build your business and it's like, my business partner's not seeing me eye to eye. I don't know. There's something here between relationships that you're in and the business you're building, your social reputation out in the world, or the career that you're in. Now, it could also be like, I'm trying to build this personal empire. My partner isn't really helping me here. Like, what the heck, man? Like, come on. I need your help. Like, you're annoying me. Like, let's do the damn thing already. Or it could be that you are trying to go viral on social media. You're trying to build your social media presence. Your partner's like, I would rather you stay private and not share our lives. I don't know. It could play out so many ways, Sagittarius. These are just examples, but you're going to feel this kind of like annoyance between relationships, intimate relationships, and your career. And it's going to be so annoying that you break free from the cycle that you're stuck in. And the action is really taking place in your career house, in your business house. So let it be what it is. Maybe, I mean, even though it's a square, maybe it's like your partner is like, you can do it. You can do it. Like, don't give up. And you've been working so hard and you're manifesting and you're focused. And it's like, why isn't it working? And you're so annoyed, but your partner's like, don't give up. And you're like, okay, I'm going to try something different because your partner is so supportive. It could play out like that too. And that's really beautiful. So don't let other people convince you a square is something awful. It is an opportunity for you to grow and evolve as a soul and get closer and closer to your best and dream life. Okay. So that's happening through the end of the month. So enjoy that. Break free, fly, do what you've got to do. All right, moving to the 24th of July. Now this is the new moon. I didn't talk about this in the general transits. Make sure to watch the general and this part of the video. They're going to hold different information and they're both important, so don't skip it. You're here, so you might as well invest in yourself fully. Okay, so you've got the new moon in your 9th house across the sky from Pluto in your 3rd house. Okay, so the opposition is like an internal kind of tug of war. Do I not? Should I not? Can I not? Should I say it? Should I not? Right? For you, there's something emotionally, the moon, that needs to be let go of so that you can positively change here. Now, the way I'm reading this 9th house is your life philosophies, your beliefs. So do you need to change your mindset about something, Sagittarius? Because you've got to understand how this works, right? Your subconscious mind is controlling you. 95% of your thoughts and behaviors are on autopilot. So if you're feeding yourself a negative self-talk, that's your belief system and you're on autopilot to the negative, right? And so down here, Pluto wants you to change your mindset, wants to change the way you communicate, wants you to evolve and start to speak to yourself nicer. And then you can release a limiting belief because a bunch of thoughts become a belief. And then a bunch of beliefs become your belief system, your life philosophy, right? So you decide you're going to change a thought so that you can release yourself from a limiting belief and actually manifest all the greatness you desire in this lifetime. It's pretty easy. Please don't overcomplicate energy work. Lots of people are going to tell you a lot of things about energy work. It's so simple. The human mind wants to make it hard. Why? Because not a lot of people do it. Why? Because it takes consistency and a lot of people can't be consistent in their lives. They just don't have the patience for it. But here at Lindsay with Love, we are worthy and we are standing in our self-worth. And that means we are worthy of our dreams, which means we will be patient and our dreams will come to us, right? We will keep taking action and our dreams will come to life. So on the 24th, if you don't manage that emotion, no worries, you've got another chance. The sun is across the sky from Pluto till the end of the month. I'll take you there till the 31st. You can see the sun is still kind of across the sky. So with this now is more like a confidence thing. Do you have the confidence to open yourself up, to open your mind up? Do you have the confidence to say, like, maybe this isn't what, maybe all these beliefs that I've been believing for so long, they're not even mine. And I can change my life. I can step on the path of my soul mission and start communicating out what I believe. I can change my thoughts down here. And that means if I change my thoughts, I change my life philosophy, which means I change my whole world. And I'm confident to do that. Those are the questions to be asking yourself with this opposition. All right. Sagittarius, the last thing we need to talk about before I set you free is this. Mercury Cazimi happening in your ninth house, Mercury retrograde Cazimi on the 31st of July. So Mercury's retrograde at this point on the 18th until August 11th. I talked about it in the beginning of the video during the general transits. And with Mercury Cazimi retrograde, it's like a moment of clarity amidst the brain fog. And it's like all of a sudden you've got it figured out. All of a sudden you know how to share your information far and wide and everybody knows your name. All of a sudden you know the life path you're meant to be on, your dharma. All of a sudden you know the limiting belief that's been holding you back, that one that's so deep rooted and you didn't even know existed, that's been holding you back from your riches and your wealth and your prosperity. Okay? So it's that type of energy. And I do have to let you know, or I'd like to let you know, that we also had a Mercury Cazimi retrograde on March 24th, happening in Aries in your fifth house. So you might want to go back to March 24th, either in your brain, maybe in emails, maybe on social media if you're posting on TikTok or something, on YouTube. What was your mental state like? What were you talking about? Did you have some sort of aha clarity moment? And this aha moment was around your self-expression, your creativity, your entrepreneurial pursuits, if that's what you're doing, romance, children, life's greatest pleasures, feeling very fulfilled in life. If you had this aha moment about being really fulfilled in life, now maybe you're having an aha moment about what you need to release, the life philosophy you need to change in order to attract your abundance and expansion and let it in. You might have had an aha moment about how to be creative and express yourself, and this is the next aha moment about how to share this creativity and this self-expression far and wide. I mean, it could play out a bunch of different ways. You might have had an aha moment about the type of person you want as a soulmate, and now you are connecting with that person in that foreign country or culture or religion or whatever, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is the person, this is where I need to go for this, right? So it could play out a bunch of different ways. Sagittarius, you'll have to let me know in the comments below how it does for you. I hope you enjoyed this. Comment, like, subscribe, share, do all the things for me if you will. And if you want to work with me, check out lindsaywithlove.com or check out the description.